Right here. I'm just waiting. It was live.
Yep. All right, we're here live. We're in the third place game, Centennial Spring Lake Park versus White Bear Lake for third place. Little recap of how we got here. Friday, we defeated the Edina CakeEaters 4-0. That was the ultimate victory. And even though this is the third place game, I feel like that's the ultimate victory, is sending Edina to the loser side of the bracket. Today, or yesterday, we played, who did we play yesterday?
That's a good question.
Osseo Maple Grove.
Right.
Played Osseo Maple Grove, unfortunately, yesterday. Girls are a little flat-footed in the first and the third period. They tried to make a little bit of a comeback and gave them a run for their money in the second period, but unfortunately, we just couldn't find the back of the net more than once, and I believe we went down 5-1 on that game. We'll see if we can get it done against White Bear Lake. They lost yesterday against Woodbury, I believe 5-0, so I'll tell you what, the ultimate losers of this game today are the parents who had to wake up at
You're right, Billy.
bright and early.
Some people would say 8-10 is too early for hockey, and I would tend to agree with them.
Yeah, it's way too early. We're all the losers sitting in the stands. Cold, crappy weather.
But you know what, Billy?
We're here.
Every day is a good day for hockey.
I would agree. Hopefully these girls come out flying and they're ready to play. We got about 2 minutes left of their warm-ups, and we'll get under action.
"30 seconds left in the warm-up, and we're about to get started."
You got to talk louder. I can't even hear you. You have to talk louder. We got a guest speaker here, Sarah, my wife.
Yeah.
She's a soft talker, though.
Apparently. Never been accused of that at any other time in my life.
No, today she's being a little shy with the microphone, so. Today in net, we're going to have Harper Hatley and Faith Schiffsky. Hopefully I said her last name correctly. Both goaltenders have been playing great all weekend long. Hopefully they continue to stay between those posts. It looks like
Faith.
Looks like maybe Faith is going to head out. Well, actually, maybe not. I don't know. We'll wait to see who the coach decides to play first. As the girls clean up the pucks, we should be underway here in just a few seconds.
All right, CSLP, let's go.
Looks like Faith's going to be a starting goaltender in net. We got Audrey Fitzpatrick at the starting lineup playing center.
Referee is checking and making sure mouth guards are in the mouth.
We have to hear you. If you're going to talk, I got to be able to hear you. So speak up so I can hear you too, please. All right. And we're going. Unfortunately, the puck comes back into our own zone here. Goes into the corner behind the net. We're first to it, but we lose the handle to White Bear Lake, who tries to make a pass right up front. Luckily for them, they were able to clear it out. Audrey Fitzpatrick almost able to get a breakaway there. Just can't get a hold of it to get it out of the zone. Number 22, who is Janie, is able to chip it out of the zone. Audrey's after her deep into our offensive zone. And it looks like Audrey's going to get called on a tripping. I don't know necessarily if I agree with that, but just like that, we're already going to the box. And offensive zone draw coming. Hazel Thacker taking a face-off, but we got a whistle.
They're waiting to get that penalty time up on the scoreboard. They're going to be bringing it back.
Hazel wins that draw. She breaks it, trying to get it out of the zone. Puck goes back onto Kinsley's stick. Kinsley's able to chip it out of the zone. White Bear Lake brings it back in, but Hazel is quick to get on it. Number 18 from White Bear picks it up, but it's intercepted by, I believe that's Allison. White Bear Lake keeping it deep behind our zone. Goalie grabs it behind the net, covers, and we get a whistle. Fresh legs out there for our team. We come up with a face-off win. Girls try to chip it out of the zone. It doesn't get past their defenseman, though. White Bear Lake doing a nice job holding the zone. Janie behind the net there trying to get it out. Loses it, unfortunately, to White Bear Lake. Janie again steps up and gets a stick on it. White Bear Lake cycles the puck in our zone, takes a shot, hits the goalie in the shoulder and goes wide behind the net. Sadie drops back and picks the puck up. Girls are able to chip it out of the zone. It goes into the neutral zone. Bob grabs it. Pass to Sadie in the neutral zone. Sadie's bringing it in. Goes wide to Bob. Bob tries to throw it back out front. It goes behind the net. White Bear Lake able to get a hold of it. Sadie, though, pressuring nicely. Natalie tried to hold the zone. She tried to go D to D there. Unfortunately, White Bear is able to chip it out, but that will kill the penalty as we go back full strength. White Bear coming up with the puck in their zone. Fortunately, it's too much for them to handle. As three girls are all over her. Bob again grabs it behind the net, tries to ring it around the board. Bobby, by the way, is Ellen. Apparently she likes to be called Bob. Our girls throughout the length of the ice. Refs are saying no icing as it's been tipped. White Bear Lake trying to get it out of their zone. Libby grabs a hold of the puck, tries to bring it right in front of the net, but White Bear Lake's able to take it away, and they bring it back out to the neutral zone. Collision right in the middle of the ice. We're able to regroup, though. Number 10 from White Bear Lake brings it in, but can't get through our defenseman. We have a massive collision while three girls go down, but we're able to chip it out of our zone. It goes back and lands right on the stick, unfortunately, of White Bear Lake's stick. And Naya stepping up to try to pressure. White Bear Lake comes up with the better half of that battle there. Brings it into the zone, but it's offsides and we get a whistle. Anybody watching at home, you're going to have to forgive me as I learn the names. I'm trying to use a cheat sheet for all the girls' names and struggling to find the names because the jersey numbers are not in order on my sheet. Inconvenient how Sports Engine printed out. Sadie brings it into the zone. Emery is on it too.
Come on, Sadie.
Sadie chipped it right. Oh no, Emery chipped it right out front to Sadie, and Sadie with a one-timer is able to come up big, their goaltender, and keep it out of the net. But that was a close call. Sadie again grabs it. Our defenseman able to keep the zone. Centennial intercepts a pass though, or Centennial. White Bear Lake at center intercepts it. They're in it on a breakaway, but she couldn't get a hold of it and got too far out ahead of her. And our goaltender challengers who steps out of the net and they're able to get the cover there, and that's a massive save.
Yes, great job by Faith.
Put some fresh legs out there. Audrey Fitzpatrick in the face-off dot. We come up with that win. Natalie grabs a hold of it and is able to get it out of the zone. Brooklyn trying to get it, but she goes down along the boards there. White Bear Lake able to chip it back into their zone. Natalie again trying to get it. Now they got a battle with Audrey Fitzpatrick, battle along the boards. Brooklyn's in there trying to help out. Brooklyn gets a foot on it and is able to kick it with her skate. It goes out of the zone. White Bear Lake battles. They regain possession in the neutral zone, but it's too much for Kinsley, or too much to handle because Kinsley Hamas steps up and backhands it deep into the neutral zone again. Good back and forth in the neutral zone, but a couple of our girls go down, and some of the parents are not happy with that. White Bear Lake picks it up. Should have been a call for tripping, and we don't get it. The fans are not happy on our side as two of our girls got down, and there was one that was a blatant trip. It looks like we also have one of our girls that's down and hurt on the ice, but White Bear Lake's able to grab a hold of that puck and walk it in, and unfortunately found the back of the net, making this 1-0. I think it's Audrey who's down on the ice.
Yeah, I think it is.
Hopefully she's okay. She's still down. It looks like they might be looking for some of the medics. Hopefully everything's okay. Looks like she's starting to get up.
All right.
All right.
Good to see her skate back to the bench.
It's going to be all right. We'll play on. Glad to see her get up. And not certain what happened there, if she slid into the boards after getting tripped. But again, a missed call, and unfortunately it doesn't go our direction. And we end up on the short end of the stick on this one and go down 1-0. Neutral zone face-off. We got Ellen, a.k.a. Bob, at the face-off dot. White Bear Lake throws it. Unfortunately, our defenseman loses an edge. White Bear gets it. They take a shot. But our goaltender, Faith, comes up big and is able to get a save on that. Makes a cover, and we're going to get a defensive zone face-off. Bob winning that face-off back. Girls trying to get it out of the zone. White Bear Lake was able to get a stick on it and keep it out.
Oh, it got tipped. It is not an icing.
No. Libby threw it out of the zone, but it went off the stick of a White Bear player. They wave off the icing, so we get some offensive zone time here. Hazel, a.k.a. Freddie, back there behind the net battling. Our girls able to hold the zone. They cycle it back behind the net. Unfortunately, nobody is really attacking the puck behind the net here.
There we go.
Finally, we got somebody that stepped up, number 19, Ellen, a.k.a. Bob. She grabbed it. Libby tries to get it back to her D, but it gets chipped out of the zone. Number 13 from White Bears tries to bring it in, but Our defenseman, Clara, is able to push her wide and not able to get a good shot off. Clara's continuing to battle along the boards here. Drops back, and Allie is first to the puck. She's trying to chip it off the boards on the fore side there. Not able to get a hold of, or get it out. White Bear Lake tries to throw it in front of the net, but it hits one of our players and goes behind. White Bear Lake's defenseman able to hold the zone. They try to pass it or center that, but it goes off the stick of one of our players, who then chips it out to the neutral zone. White Bear grabs a hold of it and brings it back in. Goes off a body in front. Freddie's able to clear the zone. It looks like it went the length of the ice. Oh, they called it off again, so
yes,
no
another
icing.
tip.
I like that.
Oh, Kinsley lost an edge and is down.
White Bear Lake brought it back into the zone, but they couldn't do anything. Sadie Truzo's on it hard, and she's almost gets it. Oh, Sadie coming up big, playing aggressive. She gets a stick on that puck and disrupts it and almost causes herself to get a breakaway. Unfortunately, the bounce just didn't go her way. Girls continue to cycle the puck. Hazel Thacker now on it, battling behind the boards. Sadie steps up and grabs the puck. Hazel's there to support. White Bear gets a stick on it. Too much again for them to handle as Hazel Thacker from the corner throws one right on net. Goalie's able to get a save. Number 9, Emery, grabs the puck, and this line is buzzing right now as they continue to cycle the puck. Sadie and Hazel on it. Kinsley Hamas gets it at the point and takes a shot. Fortunately, it's intercepted by a White Bear player.
Nice job by Janie keeping that in the zone.
Yeah, again, the girls.
Oh,
and
we are offsides.
She brings it back in on the inside the zone, and fortunately it goes off sides. And that line is really buzzing. Hopefully these other lines can take note and step up and play just like that. We got to be attacking the puck behind the goalie and along the boards, win those battles to the puck. Audrey Fitzpatrick comes up with that win, chips it into the offensive zone. Girls get it into the corner. Audrey tries to center that pass, but it's intercepted by a White Bear Lake player, and they bring it back out of the zone. White Bear on a rush. Gets intercepted by our players, though. Easily able to be taken down. We're able to get it out of the zone as they bring it back into the neutral zone. White Bear wins the battle, though, and brings it back in. She drives it wide, trying to center it. Number 18, Allie, was able to get her stick down on the ice, though, and prevent that pass from going right out in front. I'm sorry, that was 16, who is Naya. Brooklyn trying to win the race there. Unfortunately, White Bear was able to get to it first. Audrey stepping up and got a stick on that. White Bear again able to hold the zone, though. Brooklyn grabs a hold of it and brings it back out in the zone. White Bear doing a good job, though, back checking, and they take away the puck. Audrey stepping up and forcing that play. Fortunately, we still have a girl offsides here. They recognize it, though, and they wait. What good wait there. We win the battle, bring it back in. Natalie, she throws it out front. Unfortunately, Audrey's just a little bit too far out of the reach, and Audrey throws it from the corner, goes 5-0, and just like that, we have a tied game, 1-1. And that's how you got to do it. You got to get pucks on net.
As Wayne Gretzky says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Yeah, that's true, and we got to have more shots on net this game and be more aggressive on the forecheck. Just like that, we're tied up. This game is not done yet. White Bear Lake comes up with the better half of that face-off. They drive it deep into our zone behind our net. White Bear's defenseman steps up, tries to get a shot, but it gets too much traffic in front. Our girls able to chip it out of the zone in the neutral zone. Again, they're playing aggressive. This thing, that goal, I think, got them fired up. Girls battling along the boards here. White Bear grabs a hold of it, and they're going to be able to get her out of the zone. Our defenseman recognizing it and dropping it back. Shot on goal, but Faith is all over that as she gloves it down and makes an easy save out of that one. Made that goal or that save look easy. We got 1:31 left in this period. Looks like we're doing a running clock. Oh, nope, they stopped it now, so 1:30 left. Got some fresh legs out on the ice. We come up with that face-off win. Hazel Thacker stepping up to grab that, bringing it out of the zone. Hazel drives it. She tries to make a pass along the blue line, but it hits a White Bear Lake player. They're able to get it in the zone, and there's a battle along the near side board. Sadie comes up with the puck. She throws it over to
Nice
Emery.
pass.
Emery chips it behind the board, or behind the net. Hazel Thacker was there and battling for it.
Woo.
They try to wrap that one around, but the goalie's able to get a glove on it and gets a whistle. Again, the pressure. Looks like White Bear Lake's going to go for a change. Guessing they're going to throw one of their better lines out there to try to counter this lineup. Hazel coming up with that face-off win. Sadie back in the corner trying to pressure. Hazel ends up getting a hold of it and sends it behind the net. Emery battles along the boards, doing a great job. Hazel throws it again behind the net. Sadie's able to pick it up and cycle it. She throws it to Hazel right up front, but Hazel gets knocked down by one of the White Bear Lake players. Puck goes behind the net. White Bear hit their winger, and they're able to get it out of the zone. Kingsley Hamas steps up and tries to take the puck. The only play that White Bear had there is to dump it deep in the zone.
Ooh.
White Bear tries to throw it back to their own defenseman, but it gets out of the zone. Sadie Truzo there to pressure. White Bear able to maintain possession, but that's going to bring us to the end of the period. It's 1-1 after one period. What do you think about the play so far?
I mean, so far it's looking really good. Girls are hustling. Just need to get a couple more pucks in that net.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway from the last game and some of the flat-footedness that we see is that the girls have to be forechecking and back-checking. They cannot lose the race to the puck. That's how you win hockey, is you got to win those races. Dump it in deep, go flying by the White Bear girls, and win those battles. And that's how you got to do it. You got to also do it on the defensive side too. You got to win those battles behind our goalie and keep them from getting possession of those pucks. Fortunately, yesterday we saw it in the first and third period where they really had a struggle where we'd have some girls that were close to the puck, but they just didn't have the motivation to go get it, and they would watch some of the other team players go and grab that puck. And it's those types of battles that win or lose games. So this game we seem to be a little bit more awake, even though it's early, and they're looking good.
As you can see, Faith was in the goal the first period, and I believe Harper then will be going in for the second period. We're switching up our goalies coming into this new period.
Yes, so Harper Hatley taking the net. Like I said earlier, both goaltenders have been lights out good all tournament. Hopefully we continue to see more great goaltending, and looks like we're gonna start off this period with Audrey Fitzpatrick again in the face-off dot.
Nia and Brooklyn are supporting her as wingers. We got Natalie and Janie as D.
Audrey wins that face-off draw, goes to Brooklyn. Brooklyn dumps it in deep. The ref is calling off any icing, so Audrey is able to take that puck away. She throws one on net. They get a save, but they're still, puck got loose and just went wide of the net. We almost had a second goal there. This kind of pressure is what we got to continue. We throw it again on net from the point. Brooklyn back there behind the net to try to pick it up. Brooklyn cycles it around the backside of the goaltender.
That was Nia.
Nia picked it up. Again, I'm struggling to find the names and remember them all, but White Bear Lake though in the neutral zone wins a battle, takes a shot, but Harper comes up big for us, sends it wide. Makes a great save there. Janie hits Brooklyn. Brooklyn brings it in. She drives it wide. She tries to throw it in front, but it hits the stick of a White Bear player. Audrey tries to pick it up, but just couldn't get a handle on it. White Bear is able to grab a hold of it and bring it through the neutral zone. Janie there to take away any opportunity. They cycle the puck behind their net. And we're going to get another tripping call.
Okay.
And just like that, I don't necessarily agree with the zebra stripes here, but
Well, no, just some consistency back and forth. If we're going to call tripping like that, then it should be called for both teams, I think.
it's going to be Naya going to the box for a trip.
Although it seems like she's a little unsure. She is going to the box.
Yeah, no, she's found out it's serious now as she's sitting in the box. And all right, we got some fresh legs out here. And we're getting another whistle as they're, I think, trying to adjust the time on there. These scoreboard electronic devices that you control the scoreboard, they're terrible. If you never had to do it,
They really are.
they're awful. They're like from the 70s, and you got to manually enter all the times back down to a minute 30 because they auto set to 2 minutes. But all right, we get the face-off draw. White Bear wins that draw, and they're able to keep the zone. They throw it on net. Comes up, and our goaltender with 2 big saves. Woo! White Bear again throws it right through the crease, but not able to find the back of the net, luckily. Another shot on goal, and that one deflects, and it goes in off the pipe. Just like that, the penalty costs us, and we're down 2-1. 11:13 left of the second period. It's an unfortunate goal, but they happen, and confident we can come back from that. We win the face-off draw on this one. We try to chip it into the zone, but White Bear Lake's able to get a stick on it.
Libby did a very nice turn right there.
Yeah, Libby doing a great job pressuring.
Whew. Natalie comes up big.
Natalie brings it into the zone. She's got Libby to support her. Fortunately, White Bear is able to get a stick on it. Again, nice. Libby coming in and cycles the puck. See what she can do. She takes a shot, but White Bear is able to get her stick on it. Took away the shot opportunity. The puck went behind the net, and they come up with it. White Bears players driving it out of the zone through the neutral zone. Brings it into the offensive or defensive zone of ours. Libby drops back, though, and steals the puck. Libby
nice
again.
Defense that we did right there.
Libby bringing it back into the zone, takes a shot, hits the goaltender square in the face. Goaltender was not necessarily certain where that went there. She looked a little confused, but it landed, I think, right in her glove. She's going to hold on, and we get a whistle. That was a great shot. Unfortunately, it hit her face. Maybe it knocked her silly a little bit, and we can capitalize on that.
That's why she was confused.
Yeah. That was a hard shot. I could hear the rattle from her face mask all the way from the stands. White Bear able to chip it out of the zone. And Janie was able to get there first, and we're able to bring it back out of the zone. Emery picks it up and drives it wide. White Bear Lake's able to get a stick on it. She drops it back to Kinsley Hamas. White Bear's, though, able to chip it into the zone. Hazel Thacker's there to support, though, and grabs it and brings it around the backside of her net. Kinsley clears it out as White Bear had thrown a puck right in front of our net. It's number 12 again from White Bear, causing us issues, but she's going for a change. Kinsley behind her net to pick it up. White Bear tries to throw it in front, but it hit the side of the net inside of the goaltender there. White Bear again trying to throw one on net, but it goes behind. Kinsley drops back to pick it up.
Ooh, that was a risky play.
I think she intended to to go around that player, but puck got off of her. Sadie in the neutral zone to battle.
Nice pressure.
Hazel Thacker comes up with a good stick and is able to get it. Emery grabs the puck, cycles it, and brings it back in. They dump it in. White Bears able to pick it up behind their net. Hazel there to pressure. She's got Sadie supporting and Libby out front, or Emery out front. Emery grabs the puck. Oh, but she loses her edge, and unfortunately White Bears going to be able to bring it back out. Clara comes right off the bench and hits it. Hazel back, great back check by both Hazel Thacker and Clara there to prevent that shot from getting off. White Bears able to hold the zone. Emery grabs the puck along the boards. Unfortunately, White Bears able to get it, and they take a shot, but it hits a player in front. White Bear again has got it in front and threatening. Great defense by Natalie there as she drives it along the boards.
They are not going to call icing. It was a tip. Let's go, Sadie.
Sadie is
we're
in
doing
the
a line
zone.
change.
Sadie was deep in the zone, but she got recalled by her coach there to make a line change. They had been out there for quite some time. White Bear brings it back into the neutral zone. Audrey Fitzpatrick with a great physical play. She tries to go right through the hands of that player and takes it away. Unfortunately, the bounce goes to another White Bear player who gets it in deep, but she can't get a good shot off, and it goes wide of the net. Kinsley picks it back up, banks it off the boards, trying to hit Audrey. Bounce goes back over to Brooklyn. Brooklyn brings it out of the zone, driving it in, takes a shot, but it just goes wide of the net. White Bear gets possession, and unfortunately, our defenseman was already backing out of the zone and couldn't hold it. Did an offsides, and Audrey Fitzpatrick getting ready to take this face off. We got 6 minutes and 56 seconds left of the second period. Audrey wins that. Brooklyn brings it into the zone. White Bear, though, able to get a hold of it as Brooklyn lost an edge. White Bear brings it back out. Kinsley grabs it, drives it back out of the zone. Naya tried to bring it into the zone. They get it in.
It's still in.
And they're able to hold that blue line. Brooklyn with a great stick lift to keep it in. Oh, no. Kinsley got caught flat-footed a little bit there. We got Allie back there to help protect the house. Forced the White Bear player to make a weak shot, and luckily it wasn't much of a shot, and our goalie was able to come up with an easy save on that one. White Bear Lake doing a good job, though, keeping it inside our zone. Kinsley comes back there with a great stick lift. It goes behind the net. Allie behind the net tries to go to Kinsley. Kinsley brings it back. Now Naya tries to get it to Audrey. Audrey, though, has the pass intercepted by a White Bear player. And they dump it back in deep in that zone. White Bear Lake player able to pick it up, but our defense does a nice job getting to her, and they're not able to get a shot off. Kinsley Hom is playing very aggressive today as she's going after everybody's sticks, and not much is getting by. Brooklyn steps up. Oh, man, what an unlucky bounce.
Ooh, Allie just in the nick of time there.
Naya trying to cycle the puck out, and luckily we're going to be able to get it out of the zone here. And, Brooklyn gets a hold of it. Oh, and it just loses it to her at her feet. Kinsley again playing physical. I love it. White Bear Lake forced to go wide, and they throw the puck, and it goes wide of behind the net. White Bear's defenseman, though, able to hold the zone. Audrey cycling back and picks it up, though, to get it out to the neutral zone. She's in. She's got the speed. She's walking around and see if she can get a second. Throws it on net, but able to get a save. White Bear picks it up in the corner, and they're going to drive it out of the zone. We're able to get two fresh defensemen. Janie is back there with Natalie. Natalie picks it up, actually runs into Brooklyn accidentally. Libby picks it up, hits the feet of another player. Maybe again, goes back to Audrey Fitzpatrick. Audrey pressuring behind the net. White Bear gets possession of it. They try to make a pass, but unlucky bounce. It had been intercepted by us.
Oh, dear.
Janie, oh no, she gets her big long reach and her stick goes around and tips that away. That girl had her beat initially, but White Bear throws a shot that lobs over the head of everybody. Harper, though, able to read that puck and makes a great save, and it goes into the corner.
Okay,
and
offsides.
We're able to get it out of the zone, but White Bear tries to bring it right back in and get caught on the offsides. We probably needed that at that point, though, because it needs to get some fresh legs out there, it looks like. It's like Bob is going to take the face off.
Ooh, nice win.
No, I would say that's a White Bear win. Kinsley drops back, brings it around the back of our net. She goes to throw it, hits the winger on the hash marks there. Freddie had gotten it initially. Bob, though, picks it up and throws it up along the boards. Fortunately, White Bear is able to hang on and keep this zone pressure. Clara throws her around the back of the net, goes right to the White Bear defenseman and able to hold the zone.
Oh, my goodness. That's going to be offsides.
Yeah, another offsides. Unfortunately, sometimes they do too many passes, and that was a good opportunity to skate it there, but I know the pressure's on for them to keep playing like a team, and they're trying to develop their passing, and it's hard when you're young at this age to realize when to carry it and when to make that pass. Unfortunately, we tried to pass it into traffic on that one, and it just didn't work out. Puck's back in our zone. Try to bank it off the boards, but a defenseman for White Bear's there to hold it. The bounce goal comes back onto Natalie's stick, and she drives it wide. Able to fight through some traffic here, gets it in wide. Tries to put out front, it goes out the goaltender. Hazel Thacker with a great backhander, but it just goes wide of that net. Again, this line is just unbelievably good. We hold the zone, continuing to hold the zone. Allie did a great job there. Unfortunately, the bounce goes up back. White Bear Lake trying to pressure, but they're not able to get anything on it. White Bear comes up with that battle, and they throw it on net. Harper is able to get a great save, though. Struggling to get possession of this puck. We finally come up with it. Driving it into the neutral zone. Natalie bringing it into the offensive zone. She's got time. She tries to throw it, but it gets tipped by a White Bear Lake stick. Goes just wide of that net. Still pressured. Oh! Natalie again with a backhander, but it lobs over the top of everybody and goes wide. Sadie there to support along the boards. Puck gets thrown out in front, but Hazel Thacker's on it, tries to throw it. White Bear able to get a stick on there to prevent it. Hazel behind the net again. Pass gets intercepted. Gets thrown on net, but their goalie comes up big with a save. Emery got robbed on that one. White Bear finally able to get her out of the zone. They're doing a good job pressuring. Hazel Thacker there fell down, and I think the puck's under her. Brooklyn able to scoop it up. Drives it in. Brooklyn uses her size to her advantage and brings it in. Oh! Oh my gosh, the puck went wide. Brooklyn had a great shot on goal. It bounced. Sadie Truzo tried to make a shot, but it got deflected behind the board, and
got a player down.
Got a player down. I think it might be Emery. We got 36 seconds left of the second period, and coach goes out there to check on his player. And
oh, no, that was Hazel.
Oh, it was Hazel.
Good sign. Looks like she's getting up at least. All right, good. Good to see her skate back to the bench.
right, we're going to be back in action. Luckily, Hazel able to skate to the bench, and it looks like she's going to be all right. I bet you she comes out even stronger. Looked like she might have been upset about something that happened with one of the collisions there, and maybe that'll fire her up even more. That line just got robbed. Audrey Fitzpatrick wins that face-off. Kinsley tries to pass it, goes off the shin pad of a player. They get a breakaway, but our goalie comes up massive with a great pad save. Harper. Kinsley gets the puck back out of the zone and brings it over to Brooklyn. Brooklyn driving it wide. She tries to throw it on net, but it goes well wide. Audrey picks it up and makes another shot from the side. Their goalie able to gobble that one up and hold on, and we get a whistle. This is the kind of pressure we need. We got 9 seconds left of the second period. Lots of game left to be played, so hopefully these girls can continue the pressure. We got Ellen, a.k.a. Bob, at the faceoff dot. She wins it straight back. Our defenseman able to hold the zone with a good backhander to keep it in. Unfortunately, it landed on the stick of a White Bear player, and that will bring us to the end of the second. Well, that was a much better second period, I thought, than the first period. Lots of good pressure.
Yep.
We just got to continue to be aggressive on the back check. When it gets behind our goalie, we got to really be on that puck and continue to try to maintain those battles or win those one-on-one battles behind our net. 30 seconds left of our intermission, and we'll be back in action. Our goaltender is going to be at swap. They do every other period, so we're going to have Faith Shifsky back in net. I have no idea if I'm butchering your last name. But
maybe you should just stick with Faith.
Yeah, I'll probably just stick with Faith. I have faith in Faith.
Me too.
Harper, though, with a great period. Coming up with some massive saves in that one. That breakaway was crucial. That was a great save and kept us from going down 2 goals, which would have been a massive deficit for us at this point. It's about to start the third period, and we're going to have Bob back in the face-off dot. White Bear wins that face-off back to their D. They get it deep, and they're going to decide to skate it around the back of their net. That could be a mistake here.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, and look at it. We just ended up pressuring, and now suddenly they're having a hard time getting it back out of their zone. I'm never a fan of that cycle behind. We're able to Natalie tries to make a shot from the point. The first one hit traffic. The second one just now went wide. Again, we're doing a good job at holding the puck in the zone. And just like that, White Bear is able to chip it out. Natalie back to pressure, and White Bear's not able to get a shot on net there as it went wide and went behind the net.
We've seen a lot of bunching up today. We need to spread out.
Claire tried to drive it through the neutral zone, but she loses it to a White Bear player who brings it in. White Bear player tried to center that pass and slides into the crease, and Faith is able to easily get a cover on that. And we'll have a defensive zone draw here. We get some fresh legs on the ice. Looks like they're going to go with Hazel's line again. We'll see if that last period or last shift fired her up.
Hazel's always fired up.
She is. She's got some fire in her. This line is fast and shifty. Hazel again with it. Oh, this could be good. Hazel gets it in. She drives it in, looking for vengeance. Yeah! She shoots and she scores. Hazel Thacker coming off that last shift of being hurt, comes up, drives it through the neutral zone, walks right around their defensive player, makes no mistakes. She goes forehand or backhand forehand and shoots it right along the goalie, gets that goalie fooled. And just like that, we're back 2-2 with 11:38 left of this game. We come up with that win. Hazel trying to chip it in. Emery there with the support. Ooh.
Oh, just out of the reach of Sadie.
White Bear driving it into the zone. They hit traffic out front. Kinsley picks it up.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what she's
Parents are
thinking
letting
there.
her pass behind
I don't know. But
they'd better have a talk
her
with
mom
her.
and dad better have a talk with her throwing it in front of our own net like that. White Bear brings it back into our zone.
Woo.
White Bear player goes down along the boards. Allie tries to pick it up. Kinsley there to stop the White Bear player from being able to get in front. Hazel again chips it up to Sadie Truzo. Unfortunately, it lands on the stick of a White Bear player. They're able to try to get it out of the zone, and the bounce does go out of the zone. Janie had stepped up to try to hold, but it just came back out, and that will cause an offsides. That line needed a change anyway, so it's going to allow them to get some fresh legs again on the ice. I'm back with Audrey Fitzpatrick's line. Audrey wins that faceoff. She's been doing great at winning these faceoffs. Janie dumps it into the zone. White Bear picks it up and brings it behind their net, but it's intercepted.
By Naya, nice job.
Naya does a great job reading that and picks it up. Unfortunately, she loses the one-on-one battle against the White Bear player, and they're able to chip it back out. Goes right to Natalie, though. Natalie looking for a pass. She tries to go right up the middle, hit some traffic, but we're able to come up with a better hand of that as Audrey brings it into the zone. White Bear chipping it off her stick. Brooklyn there, though, the support. And White Bear now brings it back out. Janie's there with support from Natalie. White Bear again able to chip it behind our goalie. Janie wraps it around the boards trying to look for Brooklyn along the boards. Two White Bear players, though, get on Brooklyn immediately. Janie comes up to support, chips it out of the zone. White Bear tries to bring it back in, and we get an offside whistle. White Bear Lake comes up with that win. The girl's able to chip it in. White Bear, though, finds it and able to keep it out.
Hazel's able to send it over to the corner.
Yeah. Hazel, that's Freddie.
That is Freddie.
We got a couple Hazels, a couple Kinsleys, I think, on this team, don't we?
No.
No, not Kinsleys.
Just a couple Hazels.
Just a couple Hazels, yeah. Kinsley picks it up. She throws it right up the middle.
Ooh, let's keep this in. Keep it in. Nice.
Kinsley tries to hold the zone, but the bounce goes to White Bear Lake. Kinsley trying to back check. She comes in and plays physical. Drives that White Bear Lake player wide of the net.
Able to stay out of the penalty box this time, unlike yesterday's game.
Yeah, that was a good play, though. That was a great back check by Kinsley. She redeemed herself from that play where she threw it in front of the net.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Kinsley back behind the net again, battling for it. Pinning that White Bear girl to the boards. Libby able to step up and grab possession of that puck.
Ooh, Libby with a nice...
She tries to chip it.
Yes, out there. Oh, just unlucky.
Fortunately, White Bear doing a good job at getting sticks on these pucks. We chip it off the boards and bring it out to neutral ice. Libby cycles it in the neutral zone. She drives it in. See if she can do anything. She's being pushed wide. Looking to center it. Throws it right out front. Oh, and the goalie comes up huge.
Oh, my goodness.
Libby wraps it around, throws it out in front. Bob Ellen is there and had a stick on it. Looked like the whole right side was wide open, but that goalie stepped up with their glove and robbed her of that goal.
Unfortunately, a great save by White Bear Lake.
Yeah, that was a huge save for them. Hazel back on the ice. Sadie wins the battle here. Continuing the pressure, Hazel back on her and able to steal that puck and keep it in the zone. She goes down, though, and White Bear grabs the puck and brings it around the back of the net.
Oh, Sadie
leads the play, though, the entire way and intercepts. Continuing this line again, and just continuing to come up big for us. White Bear comes up with it and tries to chip it in the zone. Our players grab a hold of it, though, and try to get back out. White Bear holds it at the blue line. And that one gets out of the zone. Janie able to clear it. Hazel again, though, bringing it in. She walks, tries to throw one on that there. Just goes wide. Sadie behind the net trying to pressure. Libby stepping up to help her. Or is that Emery? Emery. Hazel. Yep, and White Bear is able to chip it back out.
Ooh, nice D-to-D pass there.
D-to-D pass, and Janie brings it back up. White Bear's first to it. They get it, and they're bringing it back behind their net. Hazel Thacker on her, though, with support from Emery. Emery gets it, throws it out front, looking for Sadie, who's waiting. Ooh. Hazel gets it again. This line is deserving of a goal here. I mean, the way that they keep cycling this puck again, right through the crease. Hazel tries to cycle it, goes off the shin pad of a White Bear player.
Nice step up there.
Again, able to step up and take away that puck. Hazel comes up and pins the girl against the boards from her knees now, is trying to keep it. Still playing
while she's pinned to the ground.
White Bear is able to finally get it. Janie's there, though. Sadie with speed around to cycle back up. White Bear able to get their stick on it. They're battling. Hazel throws it back out into the zone. Puck goes deep. This line's been out there for quite some time, but they seem to have motors that never quit. Sadie pressuring, but White Bear has got too many girls, and she's going to go for a change finally. Audrey Fitzpatrick and Brooklyn battling along the boards. Brooklyn sends it back behind the net. White Bear makes a pass to get it out of the zone.
Oh, and Naya's there to scoop it up.
Brooklyn gets a stick on this puck. Audrey will be able to walk it out of the zone as a result. Natalie there to pressure along the boards.
Oh dear, we're going to be offsides on that one,
unfortunately. Little bit of a scrum there, or the puck was bouncing. Brooklyn ends up being on the wrong side of the blue line there, and no fault to her, unfortunately, and fortunately. And we're going to get a face-off in the neutral zone. Audrey comes up with another win. I think she's won just about every one of her face-offs. She's doing great at center. Audrey again now pressuring. White Bear's just able to get it out. Kinsley chipping on the backhand to bring it in.
Hustle by Audrey to get out of the zone, so we were not offsides again.
White Bear trying to bring it in, but they try to go up the middle there and running into a lot of our girls. They throw it out front.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Faith coming up with a nice little save there. Our girls, White Bear trying to go up there.
Nice
goes up the
stop
stick.
by Clara.
Clara had a good stick and knocks it down. Doesn't even make it to Faith there. Girls able to get it out to the neutral zone. Faith or Clara dropping back. She goes D to Kinsley. Kinsley passes up to Brooklyn. Brooklyn's got Audrey who's calling for the pass, but Brooklyn's going to walk it in. Takes a shot. It goes off the top of the net. Hits the top of the bar. We want to hit the bottom of the bar. Audrey throws it up front. Brooklyn just can't get a hold of it. And they're able to chip it away from that crease. That was another good opportunity. Our girls throw it up front. We got action up front. We're going to get a whistle, but oh no, I thought they whistled it. Apparently they didn't. More action out front. Just can't find the back of the net. White Bear doing a great job at trying to clog up that.
Oh, Kinsley's going to step up, get in the zone, and then knock a girl over.
Brooklyn's got it. She gets it over to her partner, Naya. Naya throws it behind the net. Audrey goes back to pick it up. It goes off the skate of Audrey. Audrey throws it out front. Almost lands on Naya's stick. Naya there to pressure the White Bear player. RD holds the zone. And White Bear able to finally chip it out. We're going to get a one-on-one with Kinsley Hamas. White Bear shoots it wide. Not able to come up with anything on that one. White Bear able to hold the zone. It goes off the stick of Kinsley, though. Behind the zone, Kinsley drops back to try to pick it up. It loses it to the White Bear player who cycles. White Bear throws it on net. Faith able to make an easy save on that one. This game's going to remain 2-2 with 2 minutes and 43 seconds left of the third period. I don't know what the overtime or the tie rules are on this, but we'll find out. Hopefully we don't even have to find out. Hopefully we can come up big here. Girls with a face-off win here. Bob bringing it back behind the net. She tries to chip it out of the zone. White Bear is able to pick it up. They throw it back into our zone, but Janie's going to be able to get there first. Janie's able to tip it out of the zone. Freddie's able to step up and pressure the White Bear player in the neutral zone. Fortunately, the White Bear player is able to chip it in. Gets chipped back out to the neutral zone. Now comes back into the offensive zone. White Bear, though, able to be there and get to there. White Bear, oh no! Almost had a breakaway there, but great back checking, and they took away the opportunity. A couple of girls go down, and we again have a girl down along the boards. Looks like she's going to be getting back up slowly. It looks like it might be Janie.
It is.
She went down hard. It looks like she might be hurt. She's slowly limping her way to the bench. But
look at that.
Injured player intercepts the
able to
pass and gets it out of the zone at least for us before getting off the ice. White Bear there does a good job pressuring, but our girls step up. Hazel comes flying off the bench. So right away trying to hold his own. Sadie Chuzo just barely kept it on sides. White Bear finally gets it back off sides. And we're going to have a rush. White Bear tries to throw it on net, but it goes well wide of the net. Sadie picks it up along the corner here.
Loses her stick in the process, and she's got it back,
Sadie
and she's
again
going.
comes up with it. Oh, and the bounce just goes bad, but Hazel Thacker comes up with it, and she's going to beat everybody. Let's see if she can do it again. Oh, she just gets thrown wide. I don't know how we're not going to get a tripping call on that one. That was 100% a trip in front of their net. White Bear Lake brought it in off sides there, and they got a whistle. Hazel Thacker again at the face-off. She wins it. White Bear's able to grab it. They try to throw it. Hazel intercepts it. Hazel again brings it in. She throws it behind the net as she was being pressured. Emery back there to pressure. Hazel supporting along the boards. They try to chip it out, but our defenseman steps up and takes a shot from the point. Hits traffic in front. Sadie comes up with it. White Bear able to get possession again with it. Kingsley Hamas steps up, throws it out front. Unfortunately, the bounce is just too far for Sadie Chuzo, and it lands on a White Bear stick. And they're in a rush. Kingsley steps back, and that's going to bring us to the end of the regulation time. I'm not certain how this works here.
Would you like me to explain that to you, Billy?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, for the overtime here, it looks like if the game ends in regulation tie, they'll go to immediately 3-player shootout.
Oh.
Championship games and regular tie overtime format will follow, but that is not us because we are the third place team playing. So it looks like it'll be a 3-player shootout.
We'll see who coach is going to go with in net. I would imagine it's going to be Harper, as they normally swap goalies every other period, but both goalies are off the bench right now, so I'm not certain.
So the rules of the shootout, the team that scores the most goals, obviously the 3 shooters, will be declared the winner. I feel like that goes without saying, but it's in the rules, so I'm reading it. If the game is still tied after 3 shooters, the next team that has a combination of scoring and not allowing a goal will be the winner. No skater can skate twice until each skater has had at least 1 chance to shoot on each team.
Well, hopefully coach is picking out his 3 best snipers here, and I feel bad for the pressure on the goaltenders on these, that never fun. Typically a breakaway, a shootout is a 50-50 flip of the coin, as I would say.
That has been said before.
Yeah, that has been said before in our car rides home from the Gopher games. But a lot of pressure on the goaltenders. It looks like Harper is going to remain out, as Faith just got onto the bench and sat down. So looks like Harper's going to have the opportunity to come up big for her team.
All right, CSLP is fired up. Looks like we got Libby up first.
All right. White Bears got to get their goaltender in net here. I'll try to keep everything centered. This thing typically auto tracks, so I might have to turn that off.
Here she goes.
Oh, the goalie challenges, stepped out of the net, challenged, and is able to poke check that puck away.
All right, here's Harper, cool as a cucumber. She's ready.
Right into the belly. Right into the belly of Harper. Harper with poise there, held her position. Makes it look easy.
All right, looks like we have Hazel Thacker up to take the second.
Let's see if she can pull this off.
Beautiful!
Again, the same move that she scored on that last one. She goes forehand, or backhand, forehand. She does the opposite of what most of these kids would do. She goes to her backhand, then her forehand, and dragged it over.
If it works, keep doing it.
Caught the goalie to slide over and wide open. Hazel doesn't make a mistake on that. Let's see what Harper can do here. Oh, the equalizer. They're able to beat Harper on that one, find the back of the net. Just like that, the shootout's tied up. Looks like we're going to have Brooklyn out here. Fun fact for Brooklyn, she's got a broken stick. I taped it before the game, and the heel of it's broken, but I taped that sucker tight, so hopefully it holds up here as she comes in. Takes a shot, goes 5-0 on the goalie, and just like that, we're back up on the shootout. We'll see if Harper can come up big with a save here, and this would be for the win.
Come on, Harper, you got this.
I have faith in Harper. Huh?
Me too.
Terrible dad jokes, of course. All right, White Bear walking it over. Takes a shot, but she stands on it, and we get the win.
CSLP.
The girls all coming off the bench to celebrate the goaltender. And just like that, third place goes to CSLP.
This is how we're going to lose some players. Injury in the celebration pile.
Tremendous effort by the girls to come back, tie that game back up, and bring this into overtime. And
wonderful job, ladies.
Best part of hockey right here is the handshake at the end and bringing us to the end of the game. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you next time.